I got my haircut. Okay, if you're watching this, you probably want to know how to debug on VS Code. So that's what we're going to do today. And we're going to look at debugging C, debugging C++, and debugging Python, because those are the three I know how to do. And two of those I use on a regular basis. So let's get into it. So there are some prerequisites before continuing this video. So you need to have VS Code installed and you need to have GDB installed. So what I have here is I'm on Linux and I'm going to run a VM on Linux because I already have all of this set up. And I basically want to do it from fresh so that if you're doing this from fresh, you can see exactly what I can see. Okay, we're in like Flynn. So I'm in my documents folder. Make these 3 folders for your C scripts, C++ scripts, and Python scripts. Then put a main in each of them. Main.c++, main.c, main.py. Then those 3 are all made, right? But I've skipped a few steps because I'm going to zoom this in, make it nice and big and easy to see. Class. Okay, I definitely don't need glasses anymore. Then what you want to do is go to this wee tab, which is your extensions, and then look up C. This will basically get C and C++ for you. Just click install and it'll install all of the extras that you need, and then come back to me when that's done. Okay, when that's done, then look up Python, obviously. Then, is it this one? There's one that gives you, yeah, it's this one. It has extension pack at the end of it. That's how you know it's the right one. So just look up Python. It'll likely be the one with 68 million roughly downloads. Has expansion pack, made by Microsoft. Install it. And then come back to me. Okay, I'm just going to close that down. So the first thing we're going to look at, that's all you need to do really, is get those 2 extensions installed. Once you have them installed, what we'll do is we'll look at Python first, and we'll just make something nice and easy with a few lines in it. This is really not really the way you're meant to be writing Python scripts, but for our purposes it doesn't matter. And then those are the debug breakpoints. That's fine, right? Then what you want to do is come to this run and debug section. Now we have nothing set up, so you need to hit create a launch.json file. Then, it's asking for specific debug configurations. That's fine. Let's do the Python one. Okay, so it's made us a nice launch.json file. So if I just zoom out a wee bit, if we come back to our files, you'll see that this VS Code file has been created. Okay, so that'll create that launch.json file, and it's put in a Python config. So I'm just going to change the label of it. This just changes the name of the debug task, and it'll basically just run on the current file. So if we go in here and hit a breakpoint there, then go to the run and debug, it'll run and debug on the current file. Yep, far away. So it'll print hello world, and then it's got to there, and that's how you get Python debugging on VS Code. If we just finish it or let it run till it finishes, it'll print 3. Right, so that's Python on VS Code, which is fine. Next we need to populate our C file, our main.c. So this is our C file that we want to debug, and we'll just add in some extra variables. We'll do the same thing again, only we'll print, yeah, we'll just do the same thing again. This is basically the exact same as the Python script. So if you put a breakpoint in there, right, then if we go, oh yeah, we don't have a C debugging config, that's fine, go down and hit this add config. Then, or what you could do if you're really keen is, you don't even need to do that. What you can do is, yeah, come back to this launch.json file that we already have opened, and if you come down, it doesn't really matter where you do this. If you just hit this add config button, then go to this launch GDB, this one here, and add that, right? So it's got a whole mess of stuff in it, but that's fine. I'm just going to change, it's added above the Python one. So I'm going to change the name to C debug. Okay. Then you need to enter the name of your program. So if you just delete from this $sign back, this will get the workspace that you're in. then wherever you've put your Python or your C file, your C script, so I put mine in a folder in the current workspace, right? So wherever you have VS Code open, I have it open in documents. So it'll look in here for our C. It'll not be our C file, it'll be the C file that we build, or it'll be the output file that we build from our C file. So if we look in C scripts, make sure you get capitalization right. And then because we've got a main.c, it'll just be main. So then, yep, current working directory, that's all fine. Then what you need to do is go back and try and run it. Oh no, it's not going to work. Why is it not going to work? It's because we don't have it building. So you can do this from the terminal. Let me see if I can do this quickly here. Okay, so I moved into the C scripts folder, and if I do gcc-compile-, if we compile main.c and put it as an output to main, that may have worked. I normally don't do this from the C file. Okay, it's made our output file, right? Then, if we go and try and run this again, I'm going to get rid of that and debug it. In theory, it should work. Okay, there's one more thing you need to install, which I haven't done. So if you type that in, sudo apt-get install gdb. Yes. And if you do it again, it should just work. Let's just add the build options and see if that fixes it. Basically, what I had done there in the terminal earlier with this here option was basically building it via the terminal manually. You can add in like a pre-launch task which does the build for you. Yeah, so whenever you have your C debug config in, then go to the bottom and add this. Now this won't do anything and it will complain if you go and try and run it. Doesn't know what the C build task is, that's fine. If you do that and then hit configure task and then pick this one, GCC 11, and build active file, okay? That'll automatically create this tasks.json file, which is also in our .vs code folder. And basically what that does is adds what I had sort of done in the terminal, only with different options. These are just options. So what I did in the terminal was -c, -o, and then the -c is just like compile this file and then output it into this file. So I'm not sure what the -g option is. So if I change the name of this, cbuild, basically the same name as this task, this pre-launch task, and this tasks.json. Then what you want to do is task errors. What's the error? Oh, my bad. Don't change that type, change this, the label. Then if you go back in here and debug it, yep, hit C debug. Build successful and hello world. That's C. So the reason I think it didn't work whenever we built it from the command line is because I had this problem actually in work as well. I think when we did it manually in the command line, it was assigned to me as the user. So that's basically how that's done. That's basically Python and C. Now, this basically allows us to go ahead and do the C++ build. What I need to do now is add the C++ hello world. Okay. Yep. Now we put a breakpoint there. We still don't have our C++ debug config enabled. That's fine. Go back to the launch and scroll up to the top, add new config, and it's basically the same again. Only this time we will send it to a different folder. So it's going to be C++ scripts. All that should be fine, and then we just need to re-add a pre-launch task. So we've named the pre-launch task for the C debug, C build. So we'll just do the same for C++, only we'll call it C++ build. I'll rename the launch task C++ debug. I think that was the right place. Yeah, in the name. Okay. So then if we go to the tasks.json file, but if we just copy and paste this from this curly bracket up to this curly bracket, add a comma in here and add that in, and then change the name of it. Now what we'll do is add in an option so that it's a C++ build, LSTD CPP, not CPP, C++. Then if my calculations are correct, we'll have the C++ debug and it should just work. Pre-launch tasks, exit code 1, what is it complaining about? Okay, I know what happened, I made a booby. In theory, if you follow my steps, everything should be good to go. So if we retry that again with my error fixed, it's all good in the hood, my dude. So we've printed hello world and we'll print that because I've done that wrong. Let me see if I do this, what happens? Okay, I can't remember how to print numbers in C++, but that gets you that far so you can debug all that. And yeah, what else can you do? So VS Code's great because it has loads of extensions and you can go and look at them until your heart's content, but I'm going to end it there. So with that being said, alright, bye.